Meeting to order at 6:31. Kathy Lee, could you take the roll call, please?
Alrighty, Arbaugh, present. Haley Hutton, Billy Hutton, Dave Gallup.
Here,
Are you Dave or David?
either one.
Alright, Eric, John Split,
Here.
and Terry Rovita.
Here.
Okay. I believe we have a quorum. The four of us. Next is approval of agenda,
Oh, yeah.
and this is a amended agenda because we do have a certificate of appropriateness application.
Oh, I see, okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the amended agenda.
Motion by Dave,
I'll second it.
second by Terry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Acceptance or approval of past minutes. Actually, our meeting was actually a no meeting in October, so
Right.
we don't have any past minutes.
Nope,
So November,
November,
November.
there was no quorum.
we didn't have a quorum, so we didn't
Okay.
meet.
got it.
And acceptance of the financial report, which is not with this.
It's in the old one though.
Yeah, it's on-
There's no changes, so. it's
Right,
still the
yeah, it's
same.
on this, yeah, okay. So,
I make a motion to accept it.
Second,
motion by Terry, second by Dave to accept the financial report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We can go to public comment. Here's Billy.
Hi, Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Chill. It is chilly.
We are down on number 6, public comment, and there's nobody here to comment. So we will go to 7, certificate of appropriateness application for 231 Watson Street.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Wow. What is this?
I will
is the
second
name
for
of it?
discussion. We can
Yep,
discuss it
now we can
then.
discuss.
Furniture restyling, vintage,
What's the name?
chic.
Chic.
Yeah, I don't know how to exactly
That's how it's-
pronounce it.
I could be wrong.
Chic.
Because at first I was
Chic
like,
teak.
at first I.
Chic, that's
Yeah.
what it's.
Chic.
Yeah. Like
Or chic.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
At first I thought it was clinic something, and then I read the windows, it's like, well, can't be the clinic if they got home decor.
Well, this is really exciting that we have another
It's just
person.
reclined furniture done in a
Mm-hmm.
cheap manner. She
I love
does.
her dresser out there.
Instead of antique, it's chic teak.
Chic.
Right.
Something different.
So 27 inches.
That's what it is, it's vintage furniture.
Yeah,
Mhm.
vintage furniture. Furniture restyling.
I mean, everything's legal on it, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
and it's
and I'm-
very calm and it's very well done.
I'm glad she came in. She contacted me like a month ago. And, because she wanted to check on if she needed permission to repaint. That was a different color, it's painted white now.
Right.
I can't remember the color, if it was blue or, no,
What space is
Wasn't it a gray?
gray, something like that.
31.
And I told her that,
Where blue used to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
That side there.
good.
On the corner there.
All right. Yeah, now I see it.
so I told her we don't, we have no control over color, so, as long as your landlord says it's fine to paint, she
Yeah.
can paint. And then she asked about the lettering, and I said, yes, I'm glad you asked, because some people just put the lettering on the windows without a permit, or a
sign.
certificate of appropriateness, so.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So, yeah, we're all set with that. I think it looks good.
Oh, yeah.
I like the fact, the way that entrance is set like that, with those extra windows, that the hours can be on the window instead of the door.
Yeah,
I
it
just like
breaks it
that
up.
personally because it just gives you a nice clean entry.
Yeah,
Little
you're
formal.
right. Looks
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
Well, we do have a motion by Dave.
Oh, yeah.
And I seconded it.
Okay.
Is there any more discussion?
No, that's right.
So the motion is to approve the white vinyl graphics for storefront doors and windows.
What is that? Oh, sounds like a garage door.
That's,
doesn't it?
that's
That
down.
is the garage door.
Yeah, down
Oh,
below.
got it.
That ambulance.
Holy smokes.
Bringing the money in.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's a recount. Going into
This is
garbage,
crazy.
so it trumps.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like,
All in favor, right?
all in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition, motion carries.
Okay.
And I will email Susan Leahy that we approved it and she can do all the other paperwork.
Have you guys gained any weight since COVID started?
What's that?
Have you gained any weight since COVID started? You lost, right?
I'm down 32 pounds.
Holy
Gained
cats, that's
No.
crazy. Now, you're on a plan or something? Oh my God, good for you. How about you, Bones?
I can't afford to go.
I was gonna say,
I've been the
yeah,
same weight since
I
I've been
gained like-
17 years old.
Yeah.
Me too.
First of
stopped
all, I
growing.
lost 4 pounds.
I wish I could say that. Well, actually, I don't. I look like I'm from Ethiopia.
Even the years I drank a lot of beer, it didn't go in well.
Yeah.
Now it's water fountain, but
Oh, what a
I don't
blessing.
know, just, Chris gets mad.
I weigh the same.
Eat donuts and cookies.
Mhm.
I had a friend drop off a pecan pie 2 days before Thanksgiving and it was gone.
Oh.
I didn't even have any for Thanksgiving. I ate it.
Oh,
Ate the whole thing.
oh my gosh.
I went and bought an apple pie to replace.
I lost 4 pounds when I first started, and
Well, it
now I
took me 2
have
days, but
6 pounds up.
I'm bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but you always wonder if you're gonna be able to get back in the box. You know, like, oh God, when will I get into control?
This summer it'll all be okay.
Yeah, let's hope so. Okay, number 8, Facebook page, and Haley's not here, so we can bypass that. I don't know how she's doing on that.
She's been pretty busy, but she.
Yeah,
Like everybody, it's just,
right,
Yeah.
it's,
I will
The way
ask
it is.
her.
So this is, sorry,
no, go ahead.
I'm gonna talk about the historic plaques.
Yes,
She's
we
ready
can
for
go to
9.
9,
She's
that's
Okay.
fine.
ready. She's ready for 9.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I am
She
so
worked,
mad.
she worked her rear end off.
I was really ready last week and I just was sitting in the historical society with Steve while he was looking at some crazy ass postcard. Hate that kind of stuff, but I go with him because he loves me and does nice things for me. So there were 3 areas that I found: National Register landmarks, and then historic images of Ripon, and then Boy Scouts of America did some signage too. So if you want to take a look, these are all different. I just didn't make 1,000 copies. Yeah. So it's kind of cool that there is some regularity within those 3 groups, but not a lot. And honestly, those Boy Scout ones are being ripped to hell.
Are they really?
People are
All
trying
on
to,
this list?
yeah, they're trying to take them off or,
Well, yeah, they're not, at one time we tried to glue them and that didn't work. And
Yeah.
double-faced tape first, that didn't work.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Then I put 1/4-inch screws in them and that did it. But
Yeah.
then it rotted around the screws.
Oh,
Oh.
sure.
Aluminum oxidation from,
Mhm.
I guess just.
So I'm wondering what you guys would think if I sent this to each of you and you could kind of nominate additional things that you could see the signs being, you know, like it, and if I missed one, because that would not shock me.
You know, Steinbring's was pretty nice. I mean, that's a professional plaque.
yeah, that's like a cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in our price point though, if we could afford those. So.
That's one
Oh,
thing.
but I have
with
this.
With those other ones.
Cheaper
those
ones,
aluminum
yeah.
ones, Yeah, that was.
These are people who do the signage.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Were we able to talk to Steve Reamer?
we should be able to.
Yeah, we should.
Because somebody was gonna check with him about where he got the quotes and everything. Am I wrong?
No, you were correct on that.
Yeah, no, we didn't write to them either. Some of those I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't, like these ones that you said are getting, the Boy Scout ones are getting scratched out?
They seem to be, people seem to be tearing them.
These are behind like a piece of plexiglass?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are literally hung on the building in a frame.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not so bad. I mean,
No.
yeah, there's a little more cost, but I wouldn't think it's the same cost as like a cast.
It'd be a one-time with the
It's
frame.
these,
Right.
John, that are being
The sun is what really.
manhandled. I'm gonna turn
Okay,
my phone.
right.
Yeah,
Railroad, yes, that's down
Yeah.
by condoms.
condoms and.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just like aluminum and then,
And like I said, we had two different companies, and then that was, the last one was the third, which became the best one. But even two of those failed,
mhm.
and then they replaced them. They sent us new ones. They were good about it, And then after that, then, that was it.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
those,
okay.
I've seen those. Yep, that's
Okay.
that list, that goes with those.
Yep, okay.
Now, as far as the plaques and that, are we going to try to come up with, figure out one that we
Right.
want,
Mhm.
and then owners would be purchasing them, and that way we'd have a cost if we, what they were, I mean, the other ones are really inexpensive, that was the thing.
Mhm.
I think part of the thing was, I think Steinberg and I talked about it because first, well, doing it first and, like, budget.
Right.
So we'll do it that way first, and then if it goes, then maybe we can advance to a better one.
Yeah.
That was our theory behind it at that time.
Right.
In the beginning. And then the other thing was trying to get people to come on board with it.
Mhm.
So when you say people buy them, do you mean building owners?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I think most of the people that own the buildings would be okay with it.
Yeah,
It's
I-
not,
you know.
It's not a ton of money.
Now, which one are you saying isn't a ton?
These out here are like pretty inexpensive. I mean, they still cost.
Yeah.
But they weren't anything like what Jack has on his place.
Yeah,
So,
so not the bronze cast,
those
whatever.
to me are really, I mean, there's gotta be a company making them more, I don't know if Jack's was aluminum or not. I'd put one of them on, I can't remember.
Mhm.
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
it was heavy looking.
It's
I
like
don't
the
know.
one at the corner building down here. The American House.
Oh, yeah.
That one, they're better.
Mhm.
Did you see these, Dave?
Did you see the national ones?
Mhm.
There's a lot.
I like the ones with the arch on them. I
At
think
the
that-
top?
Something
Yeah.
like that. And we like the old one too.
Why would they put that on there? You see that? That was so controversial.
Oh, good night it was, yeah. Oh, my, I never caught it, yeah.
Why would you put that on an advertisement?
Oh,
That
wow.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
No kidding.
We're all,
Yeah,
because we're
that's
old
it.
enough, I mean.
This is,
We're in
It's a nice looking
you-
look, and
yeah,
it
okay.
says what it is, that's kind of what I'm
Is
looking
it?
for.
Who did Ohio?
Yeah.
Is that Jack's
Crosby, Stills,
Yes.
Nash.
house, Jack? Or is that someone different, Jack Steinbring?
Well, that was Jacob Woodruff's house.
Yeah.
Same thing,
Yeah.
The
same
octagon,
house, okay,
yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
So he lives in that, or did live in that octagon.
Yep, that's the Octagon House.
Yeah, and boy, is that nice. I guess I could call and see what something like this would set us
If we could
back.
get some prices, the
Yeah, see
only
where it
thing,
got to.
if you have a description of the site, of course, it's gonna be a lot more money if they have to put it on a bronze plaque
Yeah,
versus.
that actually is a hindrance because it is gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it's like the downtown ones, I can see a lot of words on them, because
Right.
buildings change, and if you wanna
Right.
say what it was originally and then go to something else,
Yeah, that's where you run into it.
but
Maybe
maybe,
I'll get a COVID special.
you never know.
Throw that in with Black Friday and,
The other thing, like you said, the building, you go back to the beginning, the origin of the building, but then how much of that history between the origin and today do you have to put on there? Unless there was a period in there where it was something that was really specific.
Yeah, that's.
To the history.
I don't know what he was
Tough there
talking
because,
about.
Oh,
like John said, you run out of room, you can't put it all
Right.
over there. So usually everybody
was
goes
talking
back
about
to
why would
like
they-
almost the original.
Right.
But the thing with Ripon is, the original
Well,
was
it is a
short-lived.
historical-
It is, but it was a-
Put your shot and then it went into just going and on and on.
Right.
Even in the early years.
So it'd be difficult, that's what I'm saying, so to put all that on there would be difficult unless there was a period in there when it changed to something different, and that building at that time, when it changed, was something of historic value to the community at that point in time. You know, 'cause, you know, it could have been a seamstress, went from the butcher shop to a seamstress where, well, what does a
Which is what
seamstress
happened.
do
I never
for
thought
that?
about
right,
But
yeah.
some of them.
emailing my guy on the National Historical.
You know, some of them just
So
moved
Joe is
to
gone, you
different
know that, right?
locations.
With the guy,
Right.
the guy
Several
go through to
times.
get the approval, like I'm putting a new roof on and you gotta go through them.
Isn't it Joe DeRose? Because he retired.
He retired.
But I have a new one.
No, there's a new guy now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new guy. Oh, you already talked to him?
No, I just got the email and changed the contact information and
Okay.
telling.
So you wanna apply for that, the grant, or the tax?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a new, water heater and I can take that off. and
Mhm.
I'm getting a new electrical service and I can
Don't you
take
have to
that
have
off
it
and a new
approved before
roof.
you get it though?
Yes, that's the thing.
What's that?
You have to have it approved,
Yes.
okay,
Mhm.
Yep.
before.
It's pretty easy to approve. They say, you know, if you're doing this, yeah.
Ours
Yeah.
broke and we didn't get approval because we had to get it. Gotta
You
do
can
what
get
gotta
approval,
do.
you can get approval in about 2 minutes and it's 25% off your state taxes.
Oh, what a
Mhm.
shame. We do that a lot, actually. Is it,
Any,
is the,
anything on the exterior or any mechanicals inside, like hot water heater, boiler, or electrical service, you can do those.
boy,
It starts getting iffy, like doing a railing on stairs and stuff.
Oh,
If it's, you
sure.
know, that, they don't, they really
And
work
you're
through
saying
the outside.
on the phone, they'll approve it?
Anything what?
On the phone, they'll approve it?
Not on the phone, you gotta send them pictures.
Yeah.
You gotta, it's,
So 32 seconds, what do you mean? When you said you could get approval in 32 seconds?
yeah, I mean, I got it, I took pictures of the house,
Mm-hmm,
I emailed him,
okay,
and emailed it to me, and he sent me an email back, no problem.
cool.
And then he sent me the official stuff, and then I just sign off on it and then put it, and I'm good,
And they'll file it.
yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Where is the pictures where there's a big description that it's framed?
The one under,
Oh, yeah,
Well,
no,
that's,
the one under
that's not
plexiglass?
the one. Yeah,
See, I like these because they don't fade.
Right.
It's gonna look like that for 300 years.
yeah.
and it's so like Kennedy, classic, you know?
Yes, it's a class, which is what it should be. It's
That's
your
what it
house
should
is
be.
on the National
Exactly.
Historical Register.
And I love these,
Oh.
so I'll get a price
Is
on
this-
them.
This
Oh,
the
yeah,
one?
that's
Yeah.
the one, too. So, this is the problem. In the past, when we do this, we talk about the building and put
Yeah.
pictures.
Yep.
So, and I don't know, John and you guys, if this, are these the only two right now at the Campus Theater and the Grandview Hotel? Because that's the only two I could find,
Condon's has one where the
Yeah.
depot was.
but it doesn't have all this yakety yak.
Those are the framed ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are probably the only two that are framed.
That I know of.
Yeah.
It doesn't have information about the building at Condon?
Here's a
No,
picture of
just-
the old depot.
Just the, it was the old depot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering because, I guess that's a big part of this. You know, if we want to continue with the description and the pictures.
Well, I guess to find
can't
out,
really go this way.
what the cost in the frame is as opposed to the Steinbring style, the more expensive one.
Yeah,
And if it's an incredible
what's-
amount, well, that's easy to
Right.
rule out.
Truthfully, I would rather go with the expensive one.
I mean, it's a
I
one-time.
would
And
Ooh.
so it's done. like Dave was saying, it's gonna be there
Right.
for 300 years.
Yeah, and it's
And-
not
Oh,
gonna
absolutely.
fade, it's not going to do.
Because you're gonna have to
Right.
keep replacing this inside the
And
frame.
eventually, you're gonna have
Right.
the same cost into it.
It
Right,
depends on where it's at, where the sun can get to it,
Yeah.
right,
because that's what happens to them, the sun gets.
They weather.
right. And they're still gonna also, you know, the frame's still exposed to the elements and
Mhm.
Yeah, but if we have
buy well once and call it a day.
tourists,
Yep.
tourists.
I bet if
come
you
in
go and
here,
look at this, it looks about the same, and I think when they age, it's like a copper roof.
Yeah, they look
Changing
really
Nice
cool.
color,
patina
I
on
think they put a patina on them, and they look
I
good.
suppose if we maybe asked, what's that group again down Main Street? Ripon Main Street?
Main
Ripon Main.
Maybe they could come up with descriptions of, I don't know, 25 buildings in Ripon that people, because people come to our house a lot, ask us if they can walk through. And Steve made one of these up for our house because people come by and ask about it, and he's a nerd.
No,
See, now
he's a good host.
Yes, he does a nice job.
I could see if we had these plaques and if anybody wanted to go further, they'd have that info like inside somewhere where it's accessible, because most of them are retail shops or something. or
Right, they've always.
Everything, so there's people going in and out, so it could hang there inside that they have something that this is the actual history of the building. Because I get questions all the time about John's building,
Oh, I bet.
and then we start telling them about, you know, it being the butcher shop, and then they get real interested, they start looking at the windows and everything, and it's,
Ah, fun. Well, I like both. I love this aesthetically, but this kind of pulls on my heart because I think it's more personal.
Is there information on where we could contact them, email them and get
This
prices?
one? That's what, were you gonna call Steve Reamer or you? Or you?
No, I think I was supposed to, and I haven't caught Steve.
Mhm.
So call Steve, if you find out who did these, I'll do the work. I just don't wanna not have anything to go on Billy, you know?
Because in our old minutes, I wouldn't even know where to go and look. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, when Steve did it, you mean, yeah.
well, I think I was here when Steve did it.
Yeah, if we can get that, and then if we can check, if Kathy Lee, are you gonna check on the cost of like that
Yeah.
other bronze or
Yeah,
whatever that
bronze
cast?
plaque
Cast
and,
one.
and I can call Steve.
And the mounting is, I would think,
You-
might be a bit of a problem if somebody didn't want to drill a hole in the brick.
Yeah, some might, we'll just have to see
Yeah.
after,
See
you
if
know.
You can get creative though, maybe, and
Mhm.
put it on the trim or.
Yeah,
something.
something where it wouldn't affect the brick.
Yeah, because there is a space between a lot of them where you could
right.
fit them in there instead.
Mhm.
All right, now I can't promise, because sometimes he doesn't get back. So, hey, welcome.
Hi. Too late for public comment.
We-
Well, it's 7 o'clock yet.
We might have to, what, 6:30?
If you don't-
We can go back though,
It
we'll
was
go back.
6:30?
Yeah.
I thought it was 7 o'clock.
No, that's fine. We'll go back to it.
I get the time wrong too, which is
I
not
don't
cool.
usually-
Yeah.
I usually don't get the time wrong, my job.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll see how far I
Okay.
can get on this, because sometimes he sits on stuff and doesn't get back to me.
Mhm.
Well, not me, Steve, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
And then,
We'll go from there.
Has Steve been down at the Historical Society? or
oh, God, yeah.
Maybe you can catch him there?
Oh,
Steve-
I thought you meant my
Yeah,
Steve.
Steve.
No, I don't know
Oh.
if he has.
Maybe just ask your Steve, because he'll probably see him before I will, maybe.
Mhm.
Because if
Yeah,
he's maintaining, if he's doing something.
And I'll just call him, I know him pretty
Yeah,
well.
that's true too.
I mean, not like really well, but I'm dying to have his wife come over. Like I've never seen her. Colette or something like that. Okay, sorry, I digress.
Okay. Well, since we have a person from the public, we'll go back to number 6, to public comments. Mr. Saul would like to.
Come on down.
That's fine, it's, yeah. If you want to come to the table, you can. You want to sit down there?
I'll go
If
get
you
it.
sit down here, I'll be able to hear you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I can't see you.
That's that extra one.
Oh,
Well, I wanted to come here tonight for two reasons. Number one is, just to touch on the ice cream cone. We removed it, but we're moving it up, so we're in the process of doing that, just so you know.
Thank you.
The other thing is, I wanted to talk about the stuff on the sidewalk, the displays on the sidewalk or whatever. As I stated I spoke briefly at the council meeting about, I think that everybody should have their input, if something's gonna happen like that. I do, coming from a bigger city, and the wonderful place of Illinois, we have a lot to be proud of in this town. And I think that, you know, these businesses, and I look back to the town I came from, has, I counted it last night, 6 neighborhoods that are in the town. The town is 20,000 people, but it's a lot of multifamily dwellings and mixed in there also. And, but the town itself is just six subdivisions. And so it's a small town, and they're doing things where they're doing things to help their community, to help their downtown businesses. During the COVID, they had blocked off, they don't have much more parking than we do. We have some, or they have some more than we do, but not much. But they blocked off with concrete barriers, for example, in front of each individual eating establishment. Took those parking spaces away, put some nice banners on the concrete pillar or on the concrete separators. Look awesome, but they did things to help their downtown. I think that looking at the Widows Weekend, the Small Business Saturday, I watched closely, and you know, I listened to comments, talked to the women, and a lot of the comments were how much they love our downtown, and part of that is what's out on the sidewalks for them to look at. It's very appealing to people. So I don't know how many complaints there's been on things or whatever. I just don't want to see that small town atmosphere go away. With I don't know how many have lived in a bigger city or a bigger town to really appreciate that small town, you know, the small town element of making it look nice and putting stuff out on sidewalks and making it appealing for people. And at this time right now with COVID and everything, I mean, we should be doing things to help our downtown businesses and not hurt them. I mean, I'm not saying you're out to hurt them, that's not what I'm saying, but little things like that could hurt a business, you know? Obviously with the ice cream shop, us putting a couple things out there, we don't put out as much as somebody else does. And I get it, some of those may put out too much in certain people's eyes or whatever, but I think that we need to be conscious of it and help our downtown and not take those things away. And seriously, until coming from a different place, I mean, what we have here, I love it here. I wouldn't want to give it up, you know, and it's just something to be proud of. Something to be proud of. So
I
that's
feel
what I
like
want. And if we are gonna make changes, let's get everybody's input.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of something that came up and exploded in a negative way because it was repeated incorrectly. So that's not our idea at all. I mean,
Right.
we just want to be able to pass codes for blind people and
Sure.
heights and things like that. You know, I love your tables in front of your store. I love
Oh, absolutely.
where they have tables at Canoes in the summer, and then also how Tammy puts her things out, and Yvonne. So, and I agree, it actually pulls people in, because you could be driving down 23 and see some of that. I know I would turn around if I saw that.
It's just, that's all I'm saying. I'm not here to throw stones or anything like
No.
that, or make a big deal out of something.
It's not a
You
big,
didn't give one of these, and this is our itinerary, but number 10 and number 11 are kind of like where we're headed.
We're headed to that, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I knew it was towards the bottom, so I was gonna give my comment and then just stick around and see.
Well, I'm just-
Exactly, we can go right down to 11.
No, you
and-
don't have to skip over. I'm not,
No,
my wife's
no,
talking.
I want to, because I want, it was brought up, I was the one that started the whole initiating of it, because I had a couple complaints that a man in a scooter could not get through. Now, that was when Dave Knuth had his parklet out there and the sidewalk, you know, you have to go around.
Sure.
And he even said he couldn't go to the ice cream shop with his grandkids because of that fact.
Because
So-
of what?
It was too congested.
Okay.
His complaint is, why can't I go straight on the sidewalk? That's a whole different story, and that's something that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
So I started, and then I asked Lud Wertz at our council meeting to give an explanation of what can and can't be on the street.
Okay.
And then it exploded. I mean, people
Oh, yeah.
were saying that you got a bad call, I got a couple texts, and
John, everybody writes letters
So,
about
They got
him.
verbally assaulted downtown.
I haven't done that, I haven't,
The story was that John and I were out to get everybody on Watson to get everything off the sidewalks, and I went, I own a business on Watson, why would I?
yeah. And I own a building on Watson.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it went that way, and Lud Wertz's explanation that night are, we allow permitted sidewalk cafes. So that's like Dave Knuth, I think you have a sidewalk cafe, Jay's down the street has them. You can put a table and some chairs out there. The actual building is, and there's a gray area, it's either 18 inches to 24 inches that you can come out from the front of your building to the sidewalk.
That's reasonable.
And after that, you need as close to, the intention is to have 5 feet of clear space. And we all know that there's lamp posts, there's fire hydrants,
Yeah.
Trees.
trees.
Plus like,
There's numerous things
And
that,
the west side, the sidewalk is narrower than the east side.
and the intention never was to take everything off the street.
No.
We just need to be mindful of the clearest path that somebody can have to get through there.
I think the dig has things on both sides of the
Mhm.
sidewalk, and that actually I could see a scooter
Right.
having an issue getting through there. And then when Farrell's has their great big
And,
sofas
Or
out
leaning,
there.
or anything leaning up against the trees or the lamp posts.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because then that's more than the 18 to 20.
Because
Right.
honestly, if you don't, do you feel like if we had everything on one side, it would be enough space for them? Because we shouldn't, I don't feel
Yeah.
I'm
like,
not, I'm not here to make.
And our intention, like, when I talked to Chief Wallner, was, I'm not gonna walk down there and go, violation, violation.
right.
It's, we just need that store owners and people downtown like you, Terry, if you see something, or Chief Saul, just, hey, that's kind of crowded, maybe we can move that. Because nobody wants to have an ordinance that you
Right.
you can't have anything on the street.
And
No, not like for Tammy and like for Yvonne and Hart Mercantile.
Adorn, all of those guys.
People know they're open
Mhm.
because they place their products outside.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's a,
So
it's a
And that's
Right.
part of history.
They'll be driving
People-
down, then they all of a sudden they see, oh, they are open
Yeah.
because there's stuff outside.
I started doing that when I had the Oddfellows. I was probably the only one around that ever did it. I just
Mhm.
threw stuff out there.
Yeah, that's
Back
really,
then, there was no ordinance, no anything, but that's
that
how,
was
Yeah.
genius
that's how people knew I was open.
marketing.
And I think you, Terry, you bring up a good example of that, like with Hart Mercantile and stuff, because, you know, she puts stuff out, and so does Yvonne, out here and out here, but there's still that clear path. Sometimes it gets cluttered in front
Right.
of one
I
of
was
those
there
businesses.
where reeds and stuff were way out, and I was like, oh.
Sometimes,
God.
yeah, I agree with that, but
Yeah.
like, for example, you know, we have a tree that's just kind of to the left of our entrance, and sometimes we have a bench that's very narrow, it's a very narrow bench, and we set that right up against the tree. And
Oh.
people sit there, but it doesn't impede
Mhm.
at all, you know, it's more than the 18 inches from the front of our building,
Right.
But they get the shade.
but it's not in the way, it's not hurting anybody. I don't wanna be in the way downtown, I don't wanna
No, nobody.
inconvenience anybody, that's not gonna help our downtown, so, you know,
What percentage negative is there to the positive? Minimal.
Very minimal. The only complaints I've heard, and it's when people want to get out of their vehicles. The sidewalk advertising. I mean,
Yeah.
even mine, because you take it, you put it out, And that's the other thing, you know, if that's gotta be within 18 to 24 inches of your building,
Foot.
you know, most of us put it out towards the curb,
Sure, for
and
more
so they can see,
visibility.
well, it does hinder when people wanna get out of their vehicle. I mean, it's in the way, and that's the thing,
Put it on the line.
and some of those,
Yeah, were you back?
You got the line, the
Yeah.
cars parked here, you got the
Right, but
line
not-
right here and the sidewalk.
but if you have a store
Put it
that
there.
What?
you're centered square on,
Are you
Two parking
crazy?
spots.
you don't have a line in the middle of yours.
Well, put it to the left or right.
But it's also like the tree, if you're looking at your building, the tree to the right there is right at, that is one of the worst placed trees on the whole street because it's right at the passenger's door.
Oh, okay,
It
yeah.
is, it's terrible.
I'll give you an example of something like you're talking about is, you know, we have high school girls who work for us. Sometimes, trust me, they don't think like adults, okay? And they put out
No.
those, we have a green, like a teal green chair and an old fashioned pink chair, and we put them out. Well, the girls put them out facing the store right next to the curb. Well, from next door, the older people come, they go to get their hair done, and they can't get out of their car, just like you said. So what we've done with that is, you know, we have a problem at the ice cream shop, and that is bicycles. During the summertime, families ride their bicycles. It's not one bike, it's 5 bicycles, because it's
Right.
an entire family riding downtown. And they come in, and where do they park their bicycles? Right in some of the thing, right on the sidewalk, and they lay them down.
It'd be
Right
nice to
there.
have in the green space over there,
I know.
bicycle racks.
We-
We do have it over
Well, and I'll tell you a story,
By
story that happened with
there.
that.
Yes.
So, so we're always getting those bikes, and I'm always telling them, you don't do this, and they put it up against the neighbor's glass, and it's like, don't put it up there against their window.
Yeah.
It's always a policing thing, so sometimes our girls put things out there that shouldn't be out there, or whatever. So what we've done is, we've asked people, hey, can you park your bike down in that little, where the concrete thing bumps out? Can you park your bike down there? Or we'll take those 2 chairs and we'll put them down there, so that the families can spread themselves out a little bit, you know? We
Where-
take
where
them, we
does
take
it
them
go
in at
out?
nighttime. What's
You
that?
mean down by Timothy's?
No, down by,
Jay's?
which one, what's the last one over there? Blue Design?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's blue
by the
there,
yoga shop.
that last building on the corner
Just
there.
at Blossom, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Blossom.
yeah.
Right at the kickout, there's like a concrete, it comes
Yeah.
out a
Yeah,
little
it
bit.
bumps
So
out.
we use that to put a chair out there once in a while,
Sure.
and I ask people that's where they park their bikes, because there is nowhere to park their bikes.
Well, that's when we put the bike rack on the other side in the green space.
So what happened is, there was a bench in front of the old,
American House?
thank you. I took that bench because one day what happened was, there was a dad or a grandpa and his kids, I don't know if he's grandpa or dad, and they needed a napkin. Well, the kid, he had to be, I saw a 6-year-old today, so I'm comparing him to 6 years old. Doesn't say anything, dad, runs across the street to get a napkin, and his car locked its brakes up, and came this close to hitting that kid, because he came out from between 2 cars. And, you know, dad couldn't act fast enough,
Yeah.
he heard, go get a napkin, and he bolted across the street. So the dad came over, or grandpa, and said, why is that bench over there, where we can't sit in front of the ice cream shop or on this side of the street, why can't we sit on this side of the street on that bench? We gotta sit in front of this ugly, smelly thing, and my kid almost got hit by a car. I said, you know what? It's not being used by anybody, so we picked it up.
Yeah.
At first, we brought it over in front of the ice cream shop, and then we took it, we put it on the corner. And it worked out perfect on the corner. It got removed obviously for snow
Yeah.
removal, and then we didn't put that back. But that's an example of, it's a great place to have the bike rack, but, you know, why shouldn't we have some seating at the corner, maybe on a bench or 2 benches?
Seating would take precedence over,
Are there more
Bikes.
seating available?
I'm saying the benches, why not put, because we
Yeah.
could fit 2 benches down there, why not put them down there just to
Sure.
keep things safer and.
I think that's a Ripon Main Street
Yep.
Yeah, that
idea,
was
and
something that
that
was
could
supposed
be,
to be
they could
added.
take that up,
But
yeah.
that green space is a great place to put some tables,
Who
whether it's
owns
for,
that?
whether it's for us or Canute's or, it doesn't matter who it's for.
I really
either
like what
way.
they did, the green space down next to
Oh, that looks,
the 308 building. down, the one next to Mapes.
Oh, they put that little,
They put that
Fence up.
fence in there and everything and redid that, that's really nice.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
Whose property is that?
That's Tom.
Tom.
So
bought
would he
that.
allow people to put bikes in there, do you think?
Down
Well, right now,
there.
he's just
Well,
protecting.
I-
It's just to keep,
actually, that reminds me, I think he should have got a certificate of appropriateness for that fence.
for that fence across
Yeah.
there,
Mm.
because Yvonne's been asking Craig T-Bond to promote, to put the same type of thing in the green space between
Yeah,
her and the American House.
so who owns that?
But that would be all fenced off though. They wouldn't be
City
able to
owns
use
that.
that green.
Well, they could still put it, because the steps come down there, so they could still, they could still put a gate in there, because Tom's got a gate on his down
Oh, he
there.
does have a gate? I didn't know he had a
Yeah.
gate.
Even if
Does
it
it?
was set back 10 feet, just to have those bike, space there.
Right, if that was set back, then you could have bike racks in front of the fence that would
Mhm.
hold, would be something that, I'll have to talk to Craig, I don't know if we have a meeting coming up again or not.
While you're doing that, you could advertise going up the steps, because there's extra parking.
Right, that's
Yeah.
one of the things.
That's
And
an
then
easy.
the other thing you do
easy
is you
down.
put a crosswalk right there to cross the street.
But there's no railing by those steps, is there?
Coming
There has
down
to
up
be.
there?
There's
I
one, there's
believe
got
there
a
should
one
be, yeah,
rail
there
back
should
there.
be.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
never taken them.
Mhm.
Well, maybe there'll be parking in the future if they tear the building down.
Yeah, you don't know what's
The
gonna happen
American
on that
House,
corner.
yeah.
That would-
That's a big plus.
But I just wanted to, I didn't come here to interfere with your conversation too much.
No.
I just wanted to beg you guys and just please, if you don't come from a from a big city, you almost become, what do you call it?
Indifferent?
No, you almost can't appreciate what you
Oh.
have because you're not from the big city, so, but love the town, and I think you guys are doing, as much as I got frustrated about the ice cream cone, I think you guys are doing, you have all those good things in mind to do, and so I just wanted to come here and voice my opinion, that's all,
Yep.
so.
Thank you,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
that's
appreciate
great,
it.
yeah.
We don't get many
No.
Yeah, we,
good public conversations. That's good.
I think it primarily
Well, and you're a
was
business
blown
owner,
out
so
of
that makes it, a difference,
portion.
yeah.
a big difference.
And I'm just sitting here, I'll just,
But that's where it comes down here, we've got 10 and 11 sidewalk advertising and discuss signage at intersection entering historic Ripon. So we're trying to get people that are out on the highway to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's,
We talked
I
about
think we need-
something like, when you go to the lakes and there's one entrance, you got 15 people down there and they've got just the
Signage.
post with the signage. We're looking at something like that to put on each end of town to direct everybody downtown,
Yeah.
to give somebody,
there's a place, I drove through the town, it's up north, near, there's a casino up there.
Oh, Lord.
Kashina?
Bowler.
Tigerton?
Or
What did you say?
Kashina?
Kashina.
Yes,
Kashina.
How do
going,
you
to
spell
get
that?
up there, going through, is it Black something? There's a town that you go through to get there, okay?
Yeah.
They have an amazing sign for their downtown. You guys should check it out. I saw it just,
Describe it.
I can look on a map and find.
I've always
find
liked the
town.
cottage ones where they, there's like
I
one
don't
pole
know.
with,
I think it needs to be
for
more
some
than
reason, I tried to
once,
look at them all
because
when I go by.
once you pass it, you've passed it. And in our car, there's usually confusion,
Mhm.
and we pass it, have to go around the blocks. So
See,
we had a couple.
Remind me
I
not to
think-
follow you through town.
No, you want to
Well-
follow, don't let her get behind you.
I thought we could maybe do 3, like one for restaurants, one for, shopping, one for clothing, that kind of breakdown. And that way we could get a little bit more than one sign and get people going and coming downtown.
Well, for years, we've advertised shop historic Ripon.
Yeah.
And that's always been the goal, seems to me in the past and even still now, that's historic Ripon.
But we're talking about bringing attention to shops for the
You see, if
owners.
people, they can get to Ripon, they'll find it. well, you and Steve probably like me too. I mean,
Yeah.
you send me into town that's got an antique shop and I'll find it. Just tell me what town it is. I'll find it. If I
Yeah.
have to park a mile, I'll find it.
We have a place up in Chautauqua, Wisconsin, and in Chautauqua, they have a board like that that's got all arrows on it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's-
the restaurant this way, this way.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's so many of them,
Right.
like you say, it gets lost in there, and they're only
Yeah.
this big. You try
Yeah.
to read that as you're
It's
driving by.
confusing, yeah.
But I will tell you that our ice cream truck, that's the reason we bought the ice cream truck, was just for pure advertisement. Because that has wheels, so we can park it pretty much anywhere you can
Yeah.
park a legally parked car for 7 days. Now, we don't do that, but we have some people who let us park it in their lots. And I gotta tell you, the statistics show that when that thing's out, it increases our sales a
Sure.
lot.
It's
Oh,
a
sure.
draw.
Okay? But what it's also doing is it's pulling people off of 23
Yeah.
who come into town to get ice cream, but guess what? Now they go over to Tammy's place,
Oh,
or they
yeah,
go to
'cause
the Hiller's place,
They
or
look
they go to
in
his.
windows,
And
they're-
it
to get 'em in
does
there.
bring people
Just-
downtown,
yeah.
and that's what we got it for.
Yeah.
Renee's scrapbook store is closing, obviously, I don't know if you guys know that or not, but we're closing it up. And, you know, there are people who, it's a destination, there's not many scrapbook stores around anymore, and that's what kept us going for a long time. But with COVID and with everything else going on,
Oh.
She
Plus,
couldn't have
just
any of her
having two
classes
shops,
anymore,
I
right?
don't know.
she does still do retreats.
She does?
She does she does 2 or 3 a month. And she's gonna continue to keep that business, but we're closing down the store business end of it, just because
Yeah.
it's not,
Combination.
I don't know
Not
how you
feasible
could do
anymore.
2 retail shops, that's so huge.
so. But like those sign ideas, those are great ideas, but you guys, so.
Well, I think, Terry, you go to the Ripon Main Street meetings, don't you?
Mhm.
I know that's been a discussion for a couple of years. And I don't know if it's a money issue or if it's the state of Wisconsin, because we have all highways coming in and you just
Yeah.
can't plop a sign, any type of sign, on a highway.
Right, it's
Really?
gotta be
Oh.
off of their right of way,
Yeah, so
It
those
has
are
to
a
be
lot
off
of
of
questions.
there.
off of their right of way.
Oh,
Because
right.
they own,
So many.
as a
feet.
state, there's so much space that they own off of that.
That's so uncool.
Mhm. So those are a couple of questions.
Yeah, are we gonna
But-
get the benches they were talking about and the bike racks, and then what's going on with the signage? It'd be good to just have an update, Terry.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And you wanted the bike racks added to that?
Well, bike racks, benches, and signage were
Well-
in the original, to-do list.
Okay,
You know, like when they were doing the marketing, they had that guy in and he told them, how to drop people downtown.
ah, okay, see, that I didn't know about, so I'll bring
Yeah.
that back up.
Yeah.
Dave had the idea of a crosswalk.
Right,
Write that down, please, and bring that up. I mean, that's probably a City of Ripon Department of Public Works issue, but
right, but it's something.
if
that
we have a
can-
green space, you have to have some sort of,
But if you're gonna
Safety.
put all that stuff, and it would go right up to the parking.
Right.
You're
correct.
complaining about parking downtown, and there it is,
Yeah.
half a block away.
Well,
And
and
crosswalk and parking sign.
I
Yeah.
can tell you that, you guys probably see it, you're down there, I'm sure you see it, cars don't. I think cars go a lot faster than they're
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
going a lot of times.
Definitely.
I know the speed trailer was there and it told a different story. Everybody was doing 15 miles an hour like they should. But I think that if you had, like out front here, where there's a crosswalk, but they have that yield sign there, that really slows people down, and maybe something like that,
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, they don't stop.
there,
Don't stop.
right,
The
kind of in
pedestrians
that
stop.
200 block to take away that
that
speed.
speed, yeah. No, that's a good thought too, yeah.
I'm getting too slow to cross right there to get the canoes too. It's kind of a greedy thing.
Oh, he doesn't pick you up and bring you to your spot?
You would think.
Well, I would think, yeah.
Can pick me up in an ice cream truck. and drive me
You
around.
have to sign up for the deluxe membership to get that.
I love that truck.
The furniture store, he has a sign out on KK.
Mhm.
If you miss the traffic, they split Ripon.
Right.
They split Oshkosh to get over here and they split KK. if they're
Well, see,
going the same way. If he owns that,
Well, that's one of the things, yeah, fine, because some of those smaller signs,
it would benefit him. if
some
we
of
were
the
to-
business owners actually went out and purchased those years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we could find out who owns some of them to include, because for the longest time, that big one up, coming from Oshkosh, they had,
Play,
it was work,
eat,
it was work, eat, shop,
right.
Ripon, and they had Jay's, they had Alliance, and they
Yeah.
had back porch gatherings on it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So they split the cost, you know, so that's another thing, you
I'm
know.
saying, if he owns that one, well, he rents it, obviously, yeah.
Right.
You know,
Farrell does? Troy? Who
Yeah.
rents it?
I don't know who owns it, he probably leases it or
Oh,
rents
he
it.
rents it, okay, I
Right.
got it. I thought
And
you
it's a
meant-
big,
That is a
but that's the
big
KK district, or
Right,
avenue.
right.
We should go all the way east and west, no matter.
Well, and a
where.
lot of them that are going to Green Lake, they cut across KK.
Yeah, they
That's
just
what I'm
bypass
saying.
Ripon,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying, so you're missing a big chunk of people that are, and maybe they wouldn't stop, but anyway,
Mhm.
that the sign could possibly go
What-
there.
I just spoke to Troy this morning, too.
That might be easier to do instead of trying to go through the state and find a yardage away and,
We have
Permits.
we have a scrapbook sign, at a house in Princeton, right on 23.
Yep,
And, you know, when we had a sign on KK.
you had one, yeah, with, what's her
yeah.
name's house?
We had a sign on KK, but what we did was, we just picked strategic spots and went, knocked on doors, asked if we could put a sign there. And it's off the right of way, it's in their property, and they said, yeah, you can put a sign, and, you know, we gave them some cash for it, and
You had
Those
no
signs.
negative from the state or nobody, because you were
no,
right.
Private
township-
property.
private property.
the township was.
Well, people
yeah,
used to
they
do it
didn't
on
give us,
barns and sheds and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think the church would let us put a sign up. That's one of those big properties headed into town.
Who owned the one coming from,
Well, that would be a
Fairwater?
good spot there, because it's
Yeah.
open, you'd be able to see it to say, you know, the arrow for historic downtown
Yeah.
instead of,
who owned the one out on Mattoman? Did the city own that one? It fell down and they put it back up, they cleaned it up out there? in
Oh.
In that new district area?
Oh, yeah, I
across
don't
from the
know,
school?
yeah.
Does the city own that?
oh, that one.
the one on 44,
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know who
But
owns
it
that.
fell down, it was horrible. and then
that was the city's,
Yeah.
that was the city, that is the city's. Yep,
Because they have the spot and they have it, so.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive it was because I asked about that one day, and I think it was the city's. Could have been the Chambers, but I don't think so.
That's just a possibility that
Mhm.
find out who's in
Well,
charge
how
of
would
it.
we take the next step on this? Would we each submit, like, talk to people in our neighborhoods, our districts, and talk about, you know, where the best places would be, and each of us give a list, or?
Would that be up to us or would that be back to Main Street?
Well, I think we
Or
could
does it
work
matter?
together with them,
If we, yeah,
and once the word
Consolidate.
gets
They
out that
obviously haven't gotten it
everybody
done.
wants to do it, or is in
just
favor
network it
of
with
it.
everybody and try to get one
Yeah, I mean-
cohesive plan.
Mhm.
Our Main Street Association, all we're, you know, we're trying to come up with events all the time to bring people in, so the other thing is, yeah, signage and everything else goes along with all that to
Yeah.
try and keep
And-
people in,
and
because
it's-
it's nice when they come in for events, but it's that same old thing I keep telling, you know, anybody that's around. During the summer, it's great when you have Green Lakers, all the people from Illinois and all over the place that come up and have houses on the lake. But you have to be able to survive the rest of the year on your locals.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be able to continue that. That's why this weekend with no Dickens is.
That is so heartbreaking.
It's gonna be-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
different.
1 year,
Mhm.
just 1 year.
Well, did
It
you
was
see,
our 30th anniversary.
did you see some of the businesses are getting their own living windows together?
Yeah, we're doing one.
Yeah, and all on the same night, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much it just comes down to being creative. You see a lot of people, when you watch the news and all the people that are getting creative at this time, it's incredible what some people are doing.
Yeah.
And however they're coming up with it, it's probably gonna live on. They've been able to figure something out of the box. You watch it a lot on TV, what people are doing. It's like, and it's all entrepreneur. It's
You
just,
know, and
Yeah.
not only.
young kids are doing a lot of stuff.
Not only,
Lord, but-
yeah, and I agree with you, and then not only with that, it's the businesses being creative to do something
Yeah.
to make themselves some money,
Yeah, they gotta save themselves.
because
Yeah.
it's
We-
tough, man.
We've done more shipping this year. I mean, the whole time we've been closed, we've been told everybody, we're open, we just don't have regular regular store hours.
Sure.
We've done a lot of private shopping. Contact us, you can have the store to yourself.
Oh.
And we block it off and
That's creative.
in 1 hour increments, they get a hold of my daughter and she goes, I said, we both live in town, we had somebody from Montello and they wanted to come back because we were out of a product but it was coming in. And they said, well, we'll just wait till you're open. If you're coming to town and you're on your way, call us.
We'll make it open.
We'll make it open for you, it's not a problem. I just shipped elderberry syrup to 2 ladies in New Jersey today. I mean, so it's,
Yeah,
Yeah. That's-
we don't turn anything down, we find a way to make it feasible.
I mean,
Sure.
yeah, making it feasible, and it will just, and you can continue to do it when things get back to normal, and then you're done.
Right,
with
that's
it.
one of the things, we are actually growing our internet business, which we never
That's
had.
What's happening with a lot of people.
okay. Well, Terry, you're gonna take that to Ripon Main Street.
Yep,
So what do you guys think? Do you think we should put together some locations that we're
Well, we can-
considering and ask Main Street to come to one of our meetings?
well, I'll talk to Craig first and see, because if this has been, you know, part of their whole thing since Craig's been running
It
that,
has to be like 4
they
years.
probably have already searched out sites that might work the best, so, and then I could talk to him, say, okay, then I'll get a hold of John, we'll get it on the agenda, he can come down and we can go through the whole process.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go about it, and
Okay.
see where they're actually at with it.
I'll just put it on the agenda.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For-
'cause
for
they
next-
may, someone may
Yeah.
have a better idea than we're just throwing it out.
Right, we're just, yeah.
right, it's just that now we can partner together and make it
Yeah.
financially feasible that it can get done.
Craig's budgeting is off usually. He'll say, like $700 for benches that were 3. So even if it didn't seem feasible, I think we should take up where they were and go back and.
Well, yeah, because like you were saying, I think it's best if we can have 2 benches down on that corner,
Yeah,
you know, during the summer. I mean, because that's helping his business, it's helping his customers, and it's in a spot where there isn't a problem anyhow. Like you said, the bench was sitting up against American House for so long, not doing anything.
yeah,
And I think there's probably a few business owners that I know personally that if they came along and said, okay, if we can have a bench in front of your facility, if you were willing to pay a part of it, they would pay part of it.
well,
Yeah.
that's what I told Craig when we were going
Because-
through this. Call people and ask them if they'll donate money toward it.
Because one of the biggest things, I like being on the side of the street we're on now, because now when the women come in, the husbands are, they usually sit out front. I just tell them to go down to Canute's, you know, go wait
Have
for
a
your wife by
beer.
Canute's and go have a beer.
But I think if you're gonna do benches, I mean, there's other corners that we could put more benches on too
There
that
were,
would.
I could be wrong, but I think
Yeah.
that when I was involved anyway, there were like 11 that they were talking about getting. And I'm not really sure why all of that exploded.
But there's other places in town that we can put those
Right.
benches that would
Yeah.
help those other businesses.
But if they're
Yeah.
concerned about cost, I know a way around it, because in Brandon, there's an old guy who has the forms, and he makes them.
Right.
He
Yeah.
makes them in Brandon, and he puts them, when
I
they're
love it.
damaged, and I know him,
The only,
Yeah, I mean, that's,
and he does it for free.
That's wonderful.
It's
You'll-
Brandon.
the only thing I would say is like, you know, I was gonna back then purchase a bench and put it there, but they're expensive, and right now with the way things are, businesses necessarily don't have that extra money. you
Well,
know?
and if we bought in quantity, we would probably have a
Or I reach
better.
out to this guy in
or reach out to the
Brandon.
guy in Brandon,
It's
and-
just, he has the forms.
yeah,
All you do is mix them in, you pour them in, and you put your treated lumber on it.
right.
Yeah, that's
He's been doing it for years. over
Sure,
there.
that's,
Interesting guy.
a good idea.
Yeah. He's like 80-something plus.
Be a project weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's concerned about money.
You know, just,
okay.
I'm gonna just throw an idea out there.
Sure.
There's no promises and no guarantees, okay? But, I'm gonna put my other shirt on for a second. I'll put my fire chief shirt on. And that is, depending what the cost of those benches would be, you know, maybe that's something that maybe the firefighters association could team up with you and help you with that. In addition to, maybe they could paint them and put a fire safety message on some of those, or,
Yeah,
you know,
Gotcha. Yeah,
911,
you know, just,
simple.
just safety messages, you know, do you have working, or have a working smoke detector, or whatever the case may be, if there's another, something that the police department wants to get out there, or whatever, I mean, just, I think that's one way to do it, I think, you know, or you know, the fire department would decorate them, or whatever.
I think Rotary would do that too.
It's
We
like-
did the,
It'd be like you see in
Pergola.
the cities where they put their advertising on them.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
somebody
almost like.
Somebody pays
yeah.
for the
It's like the
advertising.
stones at the square, you buy the squares and make the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Right,
But if you said you want a bench in front of your place, or you want a bench, you know, you can either have we could do a plain bench, we'll put a plain bench on the corner, but if you wanna, say the ice cream shop, for example, if you guys wanna sponsor a bench, it's $50 for the year, and you can pick your spot where you wanna sponsor it. So, for example, if we wanted to sponsor one down in front of the movie theater,
right.
right? We could put a bench in front of a movie theater, we pay $50 a year to have it there, or something like that, but we paint it, we decorate it for our business. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it
It's a
would,
great
definitely.
revenue generator,
yeah.
and,
Win-win.
and it's affordable for the businesses to do something like that. You don't wanna, you know, price yourself out of
Right,
the
yeah,
businesses being able to do that. So,
Mhm.
just an idea.
yep. And I think that's a Ripon Main Street that falls into their category more than,
Right.
you know, preservation.
Right, you just finding out what you said for the width, what we needed for out in front.
Mm-hmm.
That was our part of it. Now we can take the rest of this like I've got written down. I can go discuss that with
But we
Craig.
can't just drop it if they drop it. I mean, if we have to bring it up again and push it another way,
Well,
I
think-
already know I'm gonna get pushback because we didn't have the summer concerts and we didn't do this, we didn't do that, so it's gonna be a money situation, and that is what I'm looking for, the money. It's like, what are the ideas that you had?
well, his idea with individual owner, you know, shop owners
Mhm.
paying and, you know, contacting groups like, the Fire Association and the Rotary Club and who's, Kiwani? Isn't there
Kiwanis.
another, group?
Kiwanis?
Kiwanis?
New Kiwanis,
Yeah, so they might, you know,
DFW.
dig in. And, I don't know, I just think we can't stop if they choose not to do it.
Yeah.
You've got Alliance, you've got,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
the
the
big
other
people.
thing.
Smuckers.
I always
I
say
mean, you
that
got
when he
big-
says
yeah.
he can't afford something
But-
like,
If I could say something, I think that if we're going to those big companies, I think we wanna keep it first to our smaller, because, for
Offer,
example,
yeah.
for
Oh,
example,
definitely.
your tea stuff, you could advertise on a bench in front of the movie theater. I could advertise mine in front of, well,
Roadhouse,
say,
they don't have ice cream.
I would say Roadhouse
That makes
or
me crazy.
Tall Paws. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Tall Paws is a joke, but, you know, so.
2 o'clock you get knocked out.
So,
Just
so if
don't
people are,
be
so if
kidding.
people are at one point of the city, and maybe they weren't gonna walk down there, but maybe they'll see your bench and be like, oh, you know, let's go there.
Yeah,
Let's go there, and then they get down there, and then they see another bench that says, let's go there. So
Well,
if you
plus
keep
all
it,
that window exposure.
if you keep it to the
Great.
downtown businesses, I think would be
Yeah.
a.
Yeah, I would fill
better.
it there first,
Yeah.
if you can.
Yeah.
definitely.
But-
Mhm.
Okay. That's good.
And also with the sidewalk stuff, we have to make sure that the things that are out are not only appropriate, but they're not torn apart and, because we don't want that image, you know, things should be
Can
fairly
you send
well
me a-
kept.
Can you send me a text with that you got from Lud?
Mm-hmm.
Just so I got those dimensions, so I can put
Sure.
it on my phone, so.
Yep.
Our flag we put out at the ice cream shop, you know, we've been doing that since we've been there. It doesn't hurt anybody. It advertises the business. It's not in the walking area. You know, we're not damaging any property by doing it. So I think when we talk about flags, you know, if people are using flags and they're putting those flags out, as long as they're kept up and
Yeah,
it's not hurting anybody. you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I've seen them in,
That's past the 18 inches.
I don't remember.
I would
But-
be worried about if
You know.
everybody starts putting a flag up in front of their, that it looks
Right.
a little cheesy, or whatever the
There's
word would be, I don't
always
know.
people that just don't, they're not motivated to do stuff on that level. So there's always just a few that
Mhm.
wanna do it, hopefully.
Yeah.
And-
Hopefully.
I'm not saying that, I agree with you
Mhm.
if it gets to be a problem, but if it's not a problem, and if it's kept up,
Right.
if
And
it
that's what
becomes
I
an
s-
issue, then we
yeah.
need to look at it, but
That's
Maybe
what I
in the
said
future,
before,
Tim,
was
Maybe
as long as
that's-
this
people
pandemic
police
won't last
themselves and
forever.
nobody's complaining about it and,
Gotta be
It's
lenient
fine.
this
tomorrow
time.
there's not 100 flags out there. that-
right. I think that would be,
Car
if it
dealership.
starts that way, then we're gonna,
Yeah.
See, I
have to
was,
look
I was
into it.
thinking of like a, right from street to street across the big banner like they
Those
used
are
to do.
fun.
Yeah.
We used to have them. I
In
mean,
the
Ripon
summer,
had
they're.
There was
Banners
Mhm.
all
I
the
remember the
time.
night we had the downtown fire, there was a wire going across the bill, across downtown, like,
Whoa.
They had banners.
yeah.
They had a lot of banners.
Are they, is that gone now?
No, they was all
Alright.
canvas. I have some from the.
well, the wire across the street's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
but they had banners all over.
I'm surprised Santa didn't get decapitated.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of
I have an
scary?
ice cream social banner from the Oddfellows that went across. It either went that way or this way. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Does anybody have a
Ice cream so-
calendar?
ice cream
It's
social.
January 5th is our next meeting,
All right.
Tuesday, January 5th.
What time?
Oh,
6:30.
my project is complete, so I can,
6:30.
I can start meeting at 6 again, if you guys wanna switch it.
I don't mind the 6:30.
No, me either.
I don't
fine.
either, I don't either.
Let's-
Gives me time to eat.
Yeah,
Well,
Time I put tools up and whatever, it's dark, it's on, yeah.
with the sidewalk advertising, so is that the same, that has to be within the 18 to 24 inches?
You mean like the sandwich boards and stuff?
Yeah, the sandwich boards.
Yeah, I don't know, what did he say?
You're not supposed to have them on the sidewalk.
yeah, it's, right, yes. That's,
Okay.
I'm gonna say, right now, I'm gonna say yes, but I'm not the city attorney, but that's the way I understood.
That's the way I was
The way he was
understanding
saying.
it.
Yeah,
But
The
you have a
exceptions are
tree.
the tables and chairs.
Right.
that you get a permit for.
Yes,
The
in front of
campground.
restaurants, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
See, because Tammy doesn't have one. I know I've got one. I know most everybody does,
Really?
has a sidewalk.
Boy, I haven't seen them.
Yeah,
Sandwich boards.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So.
My mask is
Like-
making me sweat.
That's
have
just, I just
to
wanna
add
make
it.
sure that fell in the same category, so when I taught, when we had our meeting, you know, I can start to sway people into putting, we'll go with, you know, a lot of them, some of them have just the flag that comes off, the flag pole, you know, that comes off the
Sure.
building,
Mhm.
that says open.
Mhm, mhm.
I've never been a fan of the sandwich board myself, but we do use it.
Yeah, me either. I
Well,
think
it's
it's more
lower,
fun.
and if you have cars parked, you can't always.
You can't see it
You
then.
can't see it.
Right.
That's why the sign up above higher is better.
I like the ones that people do with their handwriting, the chalkboard,
Yeah, that's what we did.
rather than,
Yeah.
that's prettier.
I don't know, I think anybody that comes to Ripon, it's only 3 blocks. They're gonna walk both sides, all 3 blocks.
Oh, you're so wrong.
But the sandwich boards,
You're really wrong.
are a big part of people's businesses.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
sandwich board is part
They're
of, a big
here
part
for
of
all the
our
hunters
Like
business.
and
Patina
everything.
Beach.
So they're not gonna miss the store.
I don't
They're
know about that. I've seen
No,
a
no.
lot
No,
of
you
people,
can sit
they're
downtown, you can watch
destination shoppers.
people. I mean, we haven't even been open, but the difference in traffic to the east side that we're on now compared to the west side is huge.
Well, yeah, there's.
Because you have Canutes, because they wanna eat. And what they do is they come in, they do Patina V,
Yeah.
and then they'll go to back porch gatherings,
Yeah.
then they go and get something to eat, and then,
They won't always cross.
no.
Well, yeah, you got.
When we were across the street, Dan from Backport Gatherings would practically lead them by the hand across to our shop all the time.
Because you got the whole, you know, the American House, it's empty.
Right,
You've got the hotel, it's a hotel that takes up a third of the block.
Yeah,
There's nothing there.
right,
unless you're going in the hotel room.
right, and people won't cross the street. I mean, and then what they would do is they'd go to Patina V's, they might switch across to Adorn because they're right there on the corner, and then they go back across right away.
Yeah, that was true with Hamilton's too.
Mhm.
People sometimes shop over there, but truthfully, they don't go all the
They
way
don't
up and
just
down.
mix,
No, I
I'm just-
wish, but.
I'm just speaking out myself, I used to go
Yeah.
to Cedar
And
Brook,
people
I didn't
don't,
miss any
people
store.
at, because everything's the 200, 300 block, there isn't much on the 100 block. And people don't even want to park in the 100 block to walk 2
I
and
know.
300.
It's not
You can
crazy.
It's
look
not-
at
It's
2,
only 3 blocks.
I know, but 2 and 300 is full and you can look down the street and there's parking spots all over on the 100 block and they just,
Christina's pulls a lot of people in.
Yes.
On the weekend especially. I've noticed you can't park. But that's great. I love
Yeah.
it.
Okay, well, next meeting will be January 5th, 6:30. And I'll accept the motion for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
I'll second it.
Motion by Billy, seconded by Kathy Lee. To adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you
You know,
guys
we
for
could
listening.
always-
Coming in.